Hi guys, it's Nancy and I'm back with another video for the new Catherine Pooler release, and we are going to be doing an oldie but a goodie here. We're going to be using, again, scrap paper that we have from the Snap Crackle Pop Designer Series paper, and we're going to use a piece of, I believe this 5.5 by 4.25 cardstock. And the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to put some Stick It on there. Any kind of double-sided adhesive will work. Cut this down a little smaller than 5.5 by 4.25, just a smidgen. I'm going to remove that release paper and line up my adhesive to my cardstock, and there's going to be a very slight edge around each corner. That way if I put it on crooked, it's not gonna hurt anything. So see, I have a little bit of a clean edge there, which is what we want. Okay, I'm just going to burnish that adhesive down. And we're going to remove the other release paper. Actually, you don't need to remove that yet. So I have all of my extra strips of paper here. And you can see they're varying lengths and widths and sizes and colors and all that stuff. And I kind of want to, I'm going to cut these down. And we're going to do the strip method where everything's kind of a triangle and it goes in. So you're just going to take your trimmer, and that's all you're going to do is just basically cut them down. Now the width of this is 5.5 by 4.25. So you want to be careful though, because you're cutting in a triangle. Sometimes that shortens things, and I'll show you what I mean by in a second here. So for this one, there's no there's no rhyme or reason. I'm sure there are measurements online because this method has been around for quite a bit. It's nothing new, but I'm just gonna basically cut these into diagonals, into little triangular pieces here. So we'll have some that are wider than others, some that are a little thinner. Okay, just a couple more here. All right, I think that's good. And now we're just basically going to puzzle piece these in. So now I'm going to remove my release sheet. So the adhesive is left behind on that cardstock. Okay. And we're just going to start adding our pieces. And it does not need to be perfect. We are just using up cardstock pieces here. I am going to start with this one actually in the middle. And it's okay if you overlap the top, the bottom. Okay, and then once you have all of that covered, we're going to burnish this because with Stick It, it works better if you burnish it. So we're just going to burnish all of that down. And now we're going to cut off all of the excess. Okay, there we have our little pattern paper background. Now, for the one background that I have that's a little big, it's overlapping, I can just put glue underneath that. This piece here, I'm going to mark. See if I can. Just going to try to cut it down, but let's see if I can get that off of there without ripping. Just a little bit of a trim. There we go. Okay, should be okay now. And you can do as many or as little papers as you have. It all depends on, you know, how wide or how thin you make your strips. You can make them all the same size, you know, make them all very thin. You can do like I did, where it's just a whole bunch of different patterns and colors. You can see I can puzzle piece that all right back together. So now, this is my background. This is pretty easy to do. make it like that. Okay. You can do this landscape. You can do it horizontal. And this is not anything new. This trick has been around for a long, long time. I'm going to glue that to my card base. And then I'm going to die cut the Elated word die and the shadow die. And this is why I tell you guys, keep your scraps, because you never know when you're going to use them or how you're going to use them. So I'm going to cut the shadow die out of black cardstock. And then I'm going to go direct to paper with the word elated. And I think we will do that one in, let's do Flirty Fuchsia. So again, I'm going to go direct to paper. Okay. All right. And I'm going to die cut this out of that and die cut this out of black. And I will be right back. Okay, so we have the shadow die cut. And we have the word die cut. And we have this array of fun paper. And we just need to stamp our sentiment. So I'm going to do the same thing with the sentiment. I'm just going to put a strip underneath there. I'm going to grab the Elated stamp set. How about Elated? Doing my happy dance. Okay, and I'm just going to stamp that on the bottom here. Use that same color. Okay. Fun sentiment. Ooh, fun sentiments. Okay. All right, now I think on this one I will do the embossing powder. So let's bring all of that in. Okay, I have my Wow embossing pad, and I'm just going to take my Elated and get that nice and covered. And the embossing ink is just a clear, sticky ink that'll help the embossing powder to stick, okay? And I can see what has or hasn't been covered here. I think we're mostly good. Looks pretty gooey to me. Okay, I'm going to put that on a little coffee filter. And I'm going to try out a new embossing powder to me. And while that's, I'm going to heat up my gun in my lap here. This is the Niagara Blues embossing powder. And that is pretty. That works really well with the Tranquil ink. We're going to give that a second just to cool down. And then I have this extra Cracking Pop confetti. I'm going to put that in here, the inside. Look how pretty that is. Fun. Our sentiment. I'm going to just put that under. I'm going to stamp that again, and I'm going to change the color to Tranquil so it matches the embossing powder. So let's do that again. There we go. It's stamped better, and now that color matches the embossing powder. Okay, let me just top it off with some sequins. So again, we use the Snap, Crackle, Pop Designer Series papers. We use the Elated word die and the Elated stamp set. We use the Miyakonos sequin mix, and these are all part of the new Catherine Puller release. I will put everything down in the bottom for you. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget about the embossing powder, Niagara Blues. Thanks for watching, guys, and keep on stamping. Bye.